Okay, so I'm going to expand a little bit on foreground trees. It seems to be quite a popular subject. I've got some green in my palette and I'm dabbing in to that with a natural sponge. So you can see here, it's a nice natural sponge, a bit bubbly, just a small chunk of it. What I've done is I've wet it, I've wrung it out well, and I've dabbed it into the paint. Then what I'm going to do is just gently dab onto the paper. So I'm thinking dappled tree this time. And can you see as I'm dabbing, as I lift, I twist and then dab again. That's just giving me different pattern all the time. If you follow the same pattern, you'll see a pattern. So you've just got to be really random, nice and delicate. If you go over one area too much, you'll end up with quite a blobby effect. So you've got to keep it nice and delicate. You can come in with a little bit more of a different colour. So if I dab into a little bit of blue, tonally, I'm just getting a little bit more variety in here. It's not essential, you can use a little bit of yellow. You can just go over with the green again and you'll get a different tone appearing. So I've dried that off now and I've got a round number 6 brush and I'm dabbing it into my green paint. And then what I'm going to do is come down and create a trunk. So as you come further down, you're getting thicker. See that I just keep missing the areas that I've done, the foliage. And then from there, I'm going to come into some dark brown. I'm using burnt umber, but any brown would do. And then I'm coming in either side of the tree. So that's giving a natural shadow. It gets harder to do this as you come further up. At the moment I've got quite a gappy tree. Rinse that brush off and I've got a nice long thin brush which is called a rigger and I'm loading that up with brown. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is start to break through. So you already have a pattern here now. That pattern is formed by the sponge, so you can come round and paint the white bits in between. So one thing that's quite hard to do with watercolour is to add the light back in, and if you paint dark you can't then paint light over it. So by leaving the green as leaves and painting in between, it's a great way for that trunk to be broken up by the leaf foliage. So I am basically just filling in the white. It's really simple. And this is just with the dark brown, and I'm just working my way up. I can add a little bit more shade on each of these with the thinner brush. You can make it wider in places. So if I want to bring it further down, I think I need a bit more width here. I can bring that line down. It's a really effective way of doing dappled trees. And then once you've got the trunk in, then it's just about doing those branches. And again, you're going to work through that foliage. You're going to get that dappled effect. What you want to make sure is you've got no floating foliage. So you want to make sure you've got branches coming up to it. And you can just miss little bits as you're going through, and it'll all work together. There's beautiful dappled foliage. It's a proper early spring tree as it's just coming up into full leaf. Remember all the time, vary the posts where the branches are coming out, so you don't end up with a pattern. Everything wants to be the least patterned it can be. You can have a few branches coming off without anything on yet. So it's another really easy, simple way to do a foreground tree. Okay.